what do you think the world needs to know about Amsterdam and hospitality in Amsterdam?
Well, it's not only red light district, and we've got a really good hospitality and different from the red light district. Yeah.
Welcome to Digital Hospitality. I'm your host, Shawn Walchef. This is a Cali BBQ media production. We started this podcast back in 2017 with a deep belief, a deep thesis that every business, especially brick and mortar businesses like restaurants, needed to build digitally first, and that every business was in the hospitality business, whether they know it or not. Now, we've done over thousands of interviews since we started this show. We built a media company on top of our barbecue restaurants. We've been able to interview some of the most fascinating and impressive storytellers, hospitality operators, owners, founders all over the globe. We believe there's one global village. We believe a rising tide lifts all ships. We build in public, so we share all of the secrets that we're learning, the successes and the failures. And part of that allows us to get introduced to other owners, operators, people all over the globe that are building impressive companies, and I get to interview them. And today I have Nick Straten. He's head of data and ops at 3WO Horeca Groep in Amsterdam, the Netherlands.
That's right.
30 venues. Nick, I'm so grateful that you're taking the time. Thank you and welcome to the show.
Well, thanks for having me. I really hope I can add something to your listeners today.
I know you can. The information that I was able to gather on the hospitality group and what you guys are building is extremely impressive. I love any hospitality group that focuses on the neighborhood and the village. No matter how small, whether you're a coffee shop, an ice cream shop, or you're a restaurant group operating hundreds of venues. Tell us about the restaurant group.
Well, the restaurant group we started 18 years ago. We are now actually about 40 restaurants already.
40, amazing.
40 already, yeah, and counting. But we have 40 restaurants, but 30 different kind of concepts. So it's not one concept. We have a few concepts with multiple restaurants. But most of the locations are unique. So we have also 20 different partners in the group. So they're locally owned by a specific partner that worked for us before, and they get the opportunity to grow into the restaurant and open new restaurants with us. So
How long have you been with the company?
I've been with the company for 3 years now, 3.5 years now. Yeah, and I worked in hospitality groups for already almost 20 years already.
Amazing. What inspired you to work with this group specifically?
Well, actually, I knew the group already from the first restaurant, because one of my friends was living in the neighborhood, and it was amazing that within the first 2 or 3 years that they opened another restaurant, and then a year later another restaurant. So because I'm in hospitality, it was like that's kind of interesting if a group grows this fast. So I was always going there, and they were really new. So I always went there, and it was actually 15 years later that I just called the owner, and I said, well, I'm open for a new opportunity. I think we need to talk, because I was already really into data and software development. And I think the hospitality was not there yet. So we just had a talk, and he said, I don't know what kind of function you will doing, but you have to work with us. And then, we just started.
That's amazing. Let's talk about data in hospitality. It's something that is the underlying thesis of this show. We can't operate the best hospitality groups if we don't have the right data. Bring us into the data discovery of the restaurant group.
Well, what we do now, we just combined all our software into one analyzing tool. It's called YourBI. That's a company that works for us. What we're working with, it builds a Power BI. So Power BI is from Microsoft Office, and it connects with the API all our software into data. So we have the point of sale, we have the scheduling software, we got the HR software, also the accounting, reservations is all combined. And what they do, they make measures and like a data warehouse. So it's all combined as into one data warehouse that you can actually build some of your dashboards on and all your analyses.
That's incredible.
And nowadays it's so essential to have a good insights, especially if you want to grow, of course. You need to be on top of your cost, revenue forecast to see what's the year's going to be like. Yeah.
How long have you been working with YourBI?
Actually from the beginning. When I started, they just were trying to implement it. So for 3.5 years now. Yeah.
Amazing. And what kind of changes have you seen as you've worked with business intelligence like YourBI?
Yeah, well, especially for the last 3 years, I was working with the labor cost because in Holland we have the hourly wage increased with 25% the last 3 years. Mm-hmm. So it was already really high. So what we did is we did all kind of analysis, creating dashboards for all layers of the organization to help the managers lower the cost or make more efficient schedulings. And what we did is when this 25% hourly rate raised for the last 3 years, but we kept it on the same labor cost percentage as 3 years ago. So that's a pretty big win for us. This data helped us a lot with that. For example, we created an application for the managers, really simple because the data you can just make it so there's a lot of data, so you need to make it simple for a manager. They can read it. So what we created was like a simple app that they just see the next 2 days, what the forecast is going to be like for the next 2 days. And if you keep your schedule like this for the next 2 days, what is your labor cost percentage going to be like if you don't change anything? And that's really helpful for them to just tune a little bit on the schedulings.
I think what's really interesting is whether you're running 3 restaurants or 40 restaurants, data is extremely important. Dashboards, technology, but simplifying the data specific to the restaurant, to the concept, to the right person that's within the restaurant at the time that they need it. What kind of challenges have you faced having multiple different concepts across so many different areas?
The challenge is that most of the people working in the actual hospitality, they're waiters or their kitchen staff. They just want to cook. They want to serve. They don't want to be in their laptops or on their phones looking at data because they don't understand. They want to just to provide a service. So our challenge was to convince them that the data will actually help them because 3 years ago, they thought no, I know how it works. I'm already in 15 years in hospitality. I know tomorrow is going to be busy. Tomorrow is going to be slow. But if you just help them and just convince them that the data will help them, especially during the day, what kind of hours you can just lower your staff, or maybe you have to be a bit more people on the floor on a specific time slot. So, but that was a big challenge. So we really had to convince them. But I think we've got them now because it really helps.
Yeah, I think it's interesting when I've been working in hospitality my whole life, and we have subjective feelings of how busy Mother's Day is going to be, or busy holidays, and we need to prepare, we need to make more. But when you look objectively at the data, and we didn't have 18 years ago when we opened up our restaurant, we didn't have tools like YourBI to actually go and give us analysis of the weather and of prior year sale. We didn't have any of those tools. No. Now we have so many tools, but you need to have the right tool. And once you have the right tool, eventually the team, the frontline staff, the back of the house, the managers, leadership, they start to trust the data, and then they start to make better decisions. Yeah.
And I think we're about to get to this point that they really can trust the data and not only trust their gut feeling.
Yeah, I think there's one of my friends, he owns restaurants in San Francisco, family legacy business, but he says that the people that have the most information usually have the least authority, and the people that have the most authority usually have the least information. And when you think of a restaurant group, the people that are on the front lines, unless they're inputting data, which sometimes they are, if they're, punching in orders, that data we can capture. But there is this hospitality data that gets captured on the floor every single day, the vibe, the energy of the restaurant, that the best restaurant groups, they find a way to capture that and to improve that year over year, week over week, day over day, shift over shift.
Yeah.
What advice would you have to somebody that's thinking about onboarding a business intelligence platform like YourBI?
To start simple. It's what I said. It's easy to connect all your software, so your reservation software, your administration, everything. But I would just advise you just start simple and just pick one target that you want to improve first and just dig into that. Well, for us, it's the most important thing is labor costs, because that can rise so rapidly. So just dig into that one. We were focusing on the labor cost percentage. Now we just moved into the focus on the productivity ratio. So labor productivity ratio. So the amount of revenue you earn per person per hour, because that's easier. So if you predict a certain amount of revenue for tomorrow, for example, 10,000 euros tomorrow, going to be the revenue, and your productivity ratio should be 100 euros, then you know how many hours you can put in for the next day. And that's so much easier if you talk about hours. Then you give to a manager like this week or tomorrow, you can have this many hours, and then you're okay. It's easier than you giving them a percentage, like your percentage must be 30%. That's so they don't know, because they don't know what that percentage is about. So yeah, I would really make it like in small steps and make it simple, and just give some hours that they can spend for that day.
What does your restaurant group, what do you guys look for in a technology partner? What kind of traits?
Well, it should be like useful for all the layers of the organization. So it should be easy for the managers, but you need like really in-depth analysis for the management team, of course. It should be like they're on top of the developments in the industry, because it's so quick that they develop all these softwares. Which we implementing AI now into our data. So that's really, really exciting. We just introduced it 2 weeks ago. So Claude is now actually connected to all of our data. So you can just ask Claude to anything about your own data, and it's all in a private, secure environment. And this opens a lot of doors for us.
That's incredible. What advice would you have to someone that's looking to implement Claude and build it into their restaurant group? What have you learned since it's so fresh?
Yes, it's really fresh. But I was amazed, because Claude is not looking into the actual dashboard, because the dashboard's already fixed with labor cost percentage or certain KPIs. It just looks to the raw data, and I was like surprised that it can find the real answers. And if you just ask them like, how can I improve my profit? Then it will just look, and it just comes with such surprisingly good answers. Not only for your labor costs or for your cost of goods sold, but also your energy bill compared to other restaurants and stuff. So it's just it's really amazing.
What do you think the world needs to know about Amsterdam and hospitality in Amsterdam?
Oh, that's a good one. What do you know? Well, it's not only red light districts, and we've got a really good hospitality, and different from the red light district. Yeah, and weed. We have weed, but that's no. Well, the hospitality most of the tourists go into the center of Amsterdam, and that's really touristy place, of course, like in all cities. All our restaurants are in the neighborhoods around the center, and you just need to discover all other areas from Amsterdam, because it's really really diverse. Like it's such a small city, but if you go to Amsterdam West or Amsterdam East, we also see it in our own guests. It's so different. So just explore other parts of the city, not only the center.
And how, as a restaurant group, I mean, it's fascinating to me. I travel. I'm recording this podcast in Bulgaria. We were visiting restaurants with Toast, our partner in London and in Dublin. As much as there's the beautiful restaurants and the historic restaurants, to your point, in the center of those cities, we care so much about the neighborhood restaurants on the outer layers, the ones with a story, the ones with worth traveling for, the ones that have unique dishes, unique hospitality. Right. How does your restaurant group look at discoverability in the world of AI? Meaning when someone comes to Amsterdam and they start to search on Gemini or Claude or ChatGPT, what is your restaurant doing to show up in those types of results?
Yeah. Well, we're quite new to that. We're trying to.
We all are.
We all are. Yes. No, but we're trying to get because now nobody Googles anymore. They just ask Claude, where do I have to go in Amsterdam? Of course. We have our largest departments in the head office is marketing and design. So they work a lot about for this kind of discoverabilities. Because first you had the SEO, of course. Now you have the GEO. Well, we're looking into it. We're doing quite good already, but not that we did it on purpose. I think our findability was already quite well, but it's hard. It's new, and we can't tell you yet what the secret is. maybe you can.
No, we're gonna keep asking. We're gonna keep trying to. I mean, it's just the technology has never moved faster. I mean, I come to Bulgaria every summer, and last summer I spent most of the time using OpenAI, and now I'm using most of the time spending on Claude and Gemini. So it's like that's why we do the show. We build in public. We want to share the best secrets, the best technology, the best tools that owners, operators, no matter where they are on earth. Restaurants are restaurants are restaurants.
Of course, yeah.
Inventory is inventory, labor's labor.
Yeah, but this is something else, huh?
Yeah.
Well, what we find out is that it's the most important thing, I think, is to make it really easy to read your website. So really to scrape all the information that you want people to know over where they look for. And that's different from the SEO, because that will just get as much as information on your back office, back side, or what's you call it. And now just make it easy to read for the AI. Yeah. It will be much easier to be found. Yeah.
Amazing. One of my favorite parts of the show is finding out about your personal tech stack. So are you iPhone or Android user?
iPhone.
When do you upgrade? What are your conditions where you upgrade your phone?
What do you mean upgrade?
When do you decide to upgrade? Is it you run out of memory, the battery dies, or you always upgrade?
No, actually, I always upgrade every 2 years, because then my the license, you can renew your license and you get the new phone. But this is actually the first year that I already have my iPhone for 3 years, because normally within the 2 years I always feel the battery is low, getting low sooner, or the memory is running out. But now it's the first time I already have this one for 3 years. But I'll get a new one in September.
Do you prefer phone calls or text messages?
Phone calls.
Phone calls. Do you leave voicemails?
No, never.
Do you listen to voicemails?
Never. No, I actually shut it off. So you cannot even leave me a message. No.
How many emails do you get a day?
Probably about 20. 20? Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
How many do you enjoy reading?
Maybe 5.
Maybe 5. That's a good percent. 5% is actually pretty good. Do you prefer taking photos or videos?
Videos nowadays. Yeah.
Videos. Google Maps or Apple Maps?
Google
Maps. Zoom, Google Meets, Teams. Which one do you guys use?
We use Teams.
You good?
Just because it's in our we are in that environment of Microsoft. Yeah.
You already answered this, but I'm guessing you use Claude more than Gemini and ChatGPT.
Well, actually, we just switched because first we used the chat as an organization, but now we just moved to Claude because it's so much better, especially for marketing.
Great. What is your favorite social media app, personally?
I'm not really onto social media. I used WhatsApp. WhatsApp, yeah. And
Okay.
sometimes Instagram, but that's it.
How do you listen to podcasts, or do you listen to podcasts?
Spotify.
Spotify.
Yeah.
Okay. What is the first app that you open when you wake up?
WhatsApp.
WhatsApp. What's the last app that you use before you go to bed?
Probably WhatsApp as well.
What's your favorite restaurant app? It can be either a consumer app or a business app.
Actually, we don't use the restaurant apps a lot here. We have one app. It's called from ZenChef. ZenChef is the reservation software. They're trying to introduce it, but mostly if you go for restaurants, you just go to the website. Still, yeah.
And for our international audience that's visiting Amsterdam, which is the first? You have 30 different restaurant concepts. Which when we arrive in Amsterdam, which one do we go to first?
The restaurant?
Yeah. For your restaurant group, which one should we start with?
Oh, that's a good one because now we're gonna get into trouble with the partners. No, we've got this concept. It's called Goudvis. It's goldfish. It's a family of 5 restaurants. That's really typical, like Amsterdam, like old Amsterdam cafe restaurant, but then in a modern jacket. So it's called the Goudvis family, and there's 5 restaurants. They're amazing. They're just classic foods, comfort foods in a really good atmosphere. I think that's the best place for tourists to go, because then you feel the real authentic Amsterdam style, but also really good food. Yeah,
that's amazing. If you guys are watching, listening, we do a live show every Wednesday, every Friday. It's called Rising Tides Live. We want you to be a guest. So email us, podcast@calibbq.media. That is a live show. We also have a community. We meet up at all the biggest restaurant shows, biggest restaurant conferences, technology conferences all over the world. You can join us by sending me a message on Instagram @Shawn P. Walchef. Nick, I really appreciate you taking the time. We can't wait to get to Amsterdam. We will be there. I don't know when it's going to happen, but we're grateful that you and the restaurant group were able to share some of the secrets. And thank you for your leadership and for building in public.
Yeah, it was my pleasure. Thank you.
Appreciate it. As always, guys, stay curious, get involved, and don't be afraid to ask for help. We'll catch you next episode. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you've made it this long, you are part of the community. You're part of the tribe. We can't do this alone. We started, no one was listening. Now we have a community of digital hospitality leaders all over the globe. Please check out our new series called Restaurant Technology Substack. It's a Substack newsletter. It's free. It's some of our deep work on the best technology for restaurants. Also, go to YouTube and subscribe to Cali Barbecue Media. Cali BBQ Media on YouTube. We've been putting out a lot of new original content. Hopefully you guys like that content. If you want to work with us, go to betheshow.media. We show up all over the United States, some international countries. We would love to work with you and your growing brand on digital storytelling. You can reach out to me anytime @Shawn P. Walchef on Instagram. I'm weirdly available. Stay curious, get involved, and don't be afraid to ask for help. We'll catch you next episode.